I just want to do a quick follow-up to the video I did about the removal and replacement of the gear knob for a Barina Spark. It's in place now. This is the new one, and the gaiter or shroud over the gearbox is back in place. In here under that flap there is where the zip tie or whatever you want to use to secure that, and that's all nice and snug. The surround is all back in place. Be careful when you're putting that back in because it has got little clips. You don't want to break those off. But the thing with the as I discussed in the other video, this does not screw on with a spiral screw or whatever, as a lot of other gear knobs do. So this one here, what I found was that you had to push down and turn to the right or clockwise as you're pushing down, which is pretty well the opposite to how to get it off. Now, how I got it off, which I didn't put in the other video, is with these locking pliers, or I know they've got all different names, but I just locked it on to the base here because it was broken anyway, so it didn't matter if I damaged it, and turned it anti-clockwise or to the left, and at the same time you pull it upwards and it comes off the grip that's on the top of the actual gear stick itself, which is obviously hidden under here at the moment. But what I will say is that what I found is when you put this on, because it must grip on quite hard to the like the serrated end of the gear stick shaft itself, and so when you're putting it on, I put it on sort of roughly over here, say 10 o'clock, and as I pushed it down I turned it to the right, and I actually went maybe a couple of millimeters or just a fraction too far, but it's not bad. It's fairly straight on. It's just a little tiny bit out. But the issue is, once you get it to that point, it is very, very difficult to turn it back to the left, and what you might end up doing is actually damaging it inside. So when you're putting it on, push it down, start at an angle so you can give yourself enough room to put it down and turn it around and end up with it in the correct position. But once you get it to the middle, then hopefully you're pushing it down and it'll be actually in place and be all solid, and that's absolutely fine how it is there. But just be cautious of it, because once it gets to a certain point it just won't turn anymore. It's actually how on earth they do it, like it's obviously someone put a lot of thought into it, but it's also quite tricky, because if you go too far you don't have enough room to continue around and do a complete circuit back to this position again. So, like as I say, just be a little bit careful about that, because you could end up getting it in the wrong position, and then you've got to take it off or and damage it and buy a new one, or you live with the fact that it's actually pointing in the wrong direction. Alright then, thank you, bye.